There's a famous Andy Griffith episode where Opie's bullying nemesis draws a literal line in the sand as an ultimatum. If Opie crosses it, the bully threatens to initiate a fight. In a dramatic moment, Opie steps across the line and stares at the bully. The bully then draws a second line and issues a second ultimatum. At that point, it becomes clear that the bully isn't so tough after all, and the ultimatum is a sham. To theists, the so-called hard atheists, who make brash demands that God must make a special appearance before they believe he's real, come across like Opie's bully. The theists themselves perceive the reality of God as well established and clear. The line of evidence, so to speak, has been crossed. So they question the sincerity of second-line ultimatums for special additional evidence. They wonder whether all the brashness is just lame and cowardly hand-waving to avoid reckoning with the implications of the reality of God. Most non-believers, of course, aren't brashly hand-waving like this. They simply wonder why God, if he's real at all, doesn't simply show himself with a special appearance. In fact, if theists are honest with themselves, they'll admit that they too wish God would make special appearances from time to time, even if just to reconfirm his existence more openly, and blunt the annoying tendency of public discourse to treat belief in God as nothing more than personal preference. But regardless of any petty motives of atheists or theists, the underlying desire for a special appearance of God seems perfectly natural. We're material beings, after all, who discover truths and seek assurance through our five senses. Like the moment Galileo looked through his telescope and saw with his own eyes that Copernicus was right, and the Earth wasn't the center of our solar system. But our five senses don't provide the only access to knowledge. Some of the most fundamental and important truths can't be confirmed with our senses, like whether my partner truly loves me, or whether I can trust my boss, or what is the best form of government. So it's just not wise to make my belief in God conditioned on seeing him with my own eyes. Copernicus didn't rule out heliocentrism just because he hadn't been able to see it with his eyes the way Galileo eventually did. But even if you disagree with me, it should be obvious that nobody but God himself, if he's truly real, ever could explain why God doesn't answer to our satisfaction the desire for a special appearance to confirm his existence. Absent any explanation, we can't know precisely why. But a word of caution: many people fail to ponder what precisely they expect from a miraculous meetup with God. Encountering God more fully and clearly might not be as comfortable an experience as we suppose. As the ground floor of all existence, God's appearance might have the effect on our core being that staring directly into the sun has on our eyes. After an encounter, we might judge the present subtlety of God a virtue. And that's not to mention the problematic notion that God is available for appearances on request, like some servant genie in a bottle. Finally, it's perfectly plausible that God already has made special appearances. Our generation is just a small slice of history, and there are plenty of stories about that God has appeared in history. Whether those stories are credible is a topic for another series.